Hello everyone, my name is Shraddha teacher and let me welcome you to a lesson in history for standard ninth. Now this is a lesson which is being held through the virtual training center of the MCGM. Now children, during the COVID pandemic we are not able to reach you physically, so we will be doing such a beautiful and interesting lessons, and we will pick up apart from the textbooks so that we can try and prepare and present a 15-minute interesting session for you regularly. Having said that, let's talk about and start the first lesson that we are going to do today, and the name of the lesson is Sources of History. Now children, we have been learning about sources of history since we were in standard 6th, but we have been learning about different types of sources of history. So when you were in standard 6th, you learned about history of ancient India, isn't it? You talked about the Vedas and the Puranas, and you talked about the various epics that we had in India. After that, you learned about the history of medieval India in the 7th standard. Later on in the 8th standard, we talked about a part of the modern, you can say, history of India, where we talked about the freedom struggle of India. Now in this year's history, children, we are going to learn about the modern history of India, but the history of India post-independence. Okay, so when we talk about modern period of Indian history, it is divided into two parts. One is the British India and the other is the post-independent India. Now about the history of British India, we learnt in standard 8th. We learnt about how the British people came to India, the effects of the British rule, and how we had a long and difficult struggle for independence, about the role of different leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, and the various movements which happened, the non-cooperation movement, the Simon Go Back movement, etc. Now in this lesson or in this textbook for standard 9th, we are going to learn about the history of post-independent India. That is, history of India after we got our independence from 1947 onwards. Okay, so naturally, when we are studying about sources of history, in this context, we will be learning about the sources of history that we have with us after 1947. Okay, now when we talk about the sources of history of the modern era, that is some sources of modern history, let us see what these sources could be. So we could have letters, manuscripts, diaries, journals, memoirs, autobiographies, oral histories, interviews, speeches. So all these could be sources of modern Indian history. Okay, along with this, we could also be talking about newspapers, government documents, photographs, maps, the video footage of events, audio recordings, the research data, and objects or artifacts. Okay, so if you look at this very carefully, you will see that certain names are given stars. For example, you have a star where there is a newspaper, a star or an asterisk mark as you call it. You have an asterisk where there are photographs, where there are video footage. Okay, so certain sources of history are unique to the modern era. Like for example, in the year 1870 probably, we did not have any video cameras. We also did not have any still cameras. So we could not have any videos or photographs at that time. But as time passed and as we stepped into the modern era, with development in science and technology, we had many new gadgets at our disposal, like the cameras, like the video cameras, the printing press, etc. And because of these things, then we had many modern sources of history, many sources of history which were not available during the ancient or the medieval times. Okay, so now when we are talking about all these sources of history, children, remember that in this particular lesson we will be talking about newspapers, we will be talking about photographs, we will be talking about video footage, audio recordings, etc., which are unique to the modern times. So most of the history which is, or the sources of history related to modern times, you can find in these kind of proofs, that is proofs of audio recording, proofs of video recording, etc. Okay, now let us come back and try and understand what the history of India is with regards to the modern times. Okay, but always remember, like we have been studying since the younger classes, the types of the sources of history is always categorized as oral sources, we have material sources, and we have the written sources. So whatever source of history, you can put it into these three categories. For modern history, you can add one more source, and that is the audio visual source. Okay, so let us start by now first studying the written sources of modern history. So what are the written sources of modern history? Written means anything that you can read. Okay, so it could be newspapers, it could be periodicals, they could be encyclopedias, postage stamps, the diaries of famous people, you could have reference books, government gazettes, correspondence, that is letters written from one person to another. So all these things we can consider as written sources of modern Indian history. Okay, I am specifying modern Indian history because we are talking about modern Indian history over here. But these sources which I mentioned now, that is newspapers, periodical, diaries, reference books, etc., we could also call them as modern sources of history as well generally. So now let's talk about the first, or you can say some written sources. Again, like I just told you, we have journals, diaries, letters, historical documents, newspapers, photos, and even objects. Okay, so let's go and see what the most important written source of history was. So now children, in those times we had the invention of the printing press, and you know how the invention of the printing press gave an altogether new twist to the freedom struggle of our country. Now we could make matters public. Okay, people could share their thoughts with each other, they could print souvenirs, they could print leaflets, alright, they could print pamphlets, and also they could print journals, newspapers, etc. So newspapers, you can say, it is considered as a very, very important pillar of democracy even today. Okay, most of us, we rely and we believe that whatever news appears in the newspaper is true. It was the same thing after India became independent in the 1940s, late 40s, early 50s. The newspaper was a very, very important, you can say, source of written history. Okay, and we can see that it was probably the only alternative, the print media. It was the only alternative in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, etc. And the newspaper was the most important of all of the other print media. And then you will see the newspapers were from various publications also. So this was an image of the Times of India. These were all national daily newspapers. The Indian Express, you can still see these newspapers around, isn't it? Even today in the morning, if you go to a newspaper stand, you will be able to still buy these newspapers, though they will be in a very, very modern format, and you will be able to see better quality paper, etc. Okay, now after this, not only at the national level, we also had many newspapers at regional levels. Many newspapers also had their regional editions. Okay, along with this, we had certain other regional papers as well. So see, this was the Bengal Hurkaru. This was a newspaper, you can say, or a periodical which was published in the language Bangla or Bengali. Alright. Similarly, we had a certain literature which was created in the 60s, and we study them under the umbrella of the Dalit literature. Okay, this is just one example that I am telling you. And also we had certain other works also produced by the very great Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. All this, children, is part of the print media, or we can say it is part of the written sources of history. Okay, so mainly we had the newspapers, and then we also had these journals, magazines, periodicals, weeklies, etc. Okay, now let's come to one more important point. Now, after the newspapers started off, after we started publishing newspapers, there was a kind of an organization which was established in the 1950s, and the name of the organization was the Press Trust of India. Now, what was the work of the Press Trust of India? It was like a resource pool for these newspapers. The photographs, the reports, the articles, etc., which appeared in the newspapers, they used to source it from the Press Trust of India. Okay, so this organization is functional even today, you will see. Slowly and slowly, we had a very important revolution which happened in the field of technology. That is, the internet came into being, and in the mid 90s we had the internet coming to India as well. Okay, and as soon as the internet arrived in our country, you will see that the Press Trust of India also went online. Alright, along with the Press Trust of India, now you will see mostly all the newspapers, all the magazines, all the periodicals with the hard copy, that is the book or the paper in your hand. You can also get the soft copy. Now, what is a soft copy? The soft copy is you can watch it on the TV screen, on the computer monitor. So this is how the internet, it revolutionized the Press Trust of India and most other print media also. So now most of the print media, they have gone digital. Okay, and they started using the satellite broadcast technology. And this is how the history of modern India took shape. Now, along with the newspapers, along with the press, we also have another very important type of written source, and that is the postage stamps. Okay, so now the postage stamps, children, nowadays it is little difficult for us to come across the postage stamps because we hardly write letters and post them to people. But if you have your father has a bank account, or he has an account with LIC of India, you will see that sometimes he gets letters on which there are postage stamps. Okay, so now the postage stamps are also considered to be one of the very important, you can say, written source of modern history. Now the postage stamps, what is done is the postage stamps are made in such a way, they are printed in various sizes, they are printed in various colors. Okay, and they have a variety of themes on them. Like, for example, they have certain themes where political leaders will appear on the postage stamps. You will see certain postage stamps which show a lot of flowers, okay, or certain celebrations which happen in our country, etc. So this is a collage of the various postage stamps that you will be able to see in our country. Now, and when we talk about postage stamps, there is a very important person also that we have to talk about. Now, this person, his name was Jal Manekji Cooper, and he was an Indian philatelist. Now, who is a philatelist? A philatelist is a person who is an expert in the field of postage stamps, and he was a collector of postage stamps, and he has added a lot to the history of postage stamps in India. Okay, that is why the government of India has printed a postage stamp in his memory also. See, you can see the photo of here of Jal Cooper. Alright, so this was about the various, you can say, written sources. Now at a later date we will do a lesson based on material sources of Indian history, since we do not have time to do that today. So let us end up here, let us wind up here for this lesson. Hope you enjoyed watching the images and hope you understood what the written sources of modern Indian history are. Thank you so much. from my side for